Homicide investigators called to a double fatality in the Northwest.
We located a vehicle. A search of that vehicle has located 2 deceased children.
One man is now in custody. Plus, Elections Alberta says the official list of electors has been illegally shared.
We have reason to believe you're using that list.
Alberta's newest separatist group visited by police. And a big idea for the Old Bay.
It's a wow building. It's stunning. There's nothing else like it.
A plan to revitalize this beauty by turning it into condos.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with a distressing police investigation. 2 children are dead and 1 man is in custody following a disturbing discovery along 14th Street in Northwest Calgary. Police say their bodies were found inside a late model Jeep pulled over to the side of the road. Kevin Green has more.
Police say they were called just after 10 a.m. Thursday to the 4300 block of 14th Street Northwest, a location just meters from the District 3 police station.
Once we arrived, we located a vehicle. A search of that vehicle has located 2 deceased children.
Police have not said how the 2 children died.
At this time, the deaths are considered suspicious. Our homicide unit is investigating. Our medical examiner is on scene, who will begin the investigation into the deaths themselves. They will be the ones that would ultimately determine the cause of death.
And they say they have not yet identified the children either.
I don't know the sex of the victims. I can tell you they're both believed to be under the ages of 10.
Investigators say 1 man is now in custody, but can't say how or if he is related to the children.
At this point, that's still too early in the investigation. We still need to identify who the children are. And at that point, we can then start to look at who their parents are, who is responsible, and what actually happened here.
Residents along 14th Street were kept in their homes as the investigation unfolded outside their front windows. Several say the vehicle in question is not familiar to the neighborhood, and one told us it was not parked at the scene as late as 8 o'clock Thursday morning.
Yeah, it's not something you ever think you're going to experience. I can't imagine how the cops are feeling right now, probably absolutely beside themselves. It was right in front of their station. Just absolutely devastating.
Emergency responders were seen leaving the scene in tears, overwhelmed by what they had encountered.
It is very hard on our officers. Our officers are human, and this is heartbreaking for everyone.
And Kevin joins us from 14th Street tonight. So Kevin, what are the next steps in this investigation?
Well, Tara, as you heard, the police, the last time we spoke to them, told us that they still have to determine who the children are and how, if at all, the person that they took into custody is related to those children. Now, as you saw in the report, the medical examiner attended the scene here just after noon today. The children's bodies were removed from the scene here and taken to the medical examiner's office where autopsies will be performed, and the vehicle, the Jeep that they were found in, was taken away for forensic examination. Police, at this point at least, it's important to note, have not laid any charges in regards to this incident. Tara?
Okay, Kevin, thank you. Elections Alberta says a separatist group has illegally obtained a list of Alberta voters and their personal information. An emergency court injunction and cease and desist order have been filed to block the group from further using or accessing that data. But as Tim Brooke reports, some of the damage has already been done.
Alberta's newest separatist group is called the Centurion Project. It's led by a familiar face, David Parker, who is the former head of Take Back Alberta. The group says it's focused on bringing in new voters and that a new tool will help it do exactly that.
Well, this is just publicly available data of everyone in the province that is an elector.
Oh, so data from Elections Alberta type of thing, right?
Yeah.
We have 3 million voting age Albertans in the database. Become a user of the Centurion Project app, claim your friends and family, and then take responsibility for them.
But at a Centurion Project meeting Wednesday night, Elections Alberta served notice.
There is a concern that your organization is in possession of and using the list of electors.
Elections Alberta accuses the separatist group of illegally accessing and then using Alberta's list of electors. That's the list given to every political party and MLA. It contains about 2.9 million voters' first, middle, and last names, their address, postal code, phone number, unique electoral identifier number, electoral division, and their voting area. It's a lot of information, but this can be traced back to one source.
If multiple people are given the exact same data set, they're actually purposely slightly different. So if there is a breach, they're able to trace it right back to the source. So that's exactly what seems to have happened here.
Elections Alberta says the Republican Party of Alberta legitimately received a list, but its list illegitimately ended up in the hands of the Centurion Project. Some voters are uncomfortable with that.
I do feel like the list has been available. And then that brings us to the next question as to how did they obtain that list, who gave it to them, and why was it even given it to them?
Accessing that list of electors is an offense, and we'll be pursuing that. So there will be an investigation.
An emergency court injunction has been granted to prohibit any further access to or use of the list, but it's already been spread. And now the province has to figure out how it happens.
And Tim joins us now. Tim, you reached out to the leaders of both the Centurion Project and the Republican Party of Alberta. What did you learn?
Yes, Tara. Well, the former sent a statement just moments ago saying it relied on a third party to get its data and that it will fully comply with Election Alberta's investigation. Now, as for the Republican Party of Alberta, I chatted with its leader today. He told me he's investigating what exactly happened here. Keep in mind, the Republican Party is a separatist party. Also worth noting tonight, anyone found guilty of illegally passing along that electors list could face a penalty of up to $10,000, a year in prison, or, Tara, both of those things.
Okay, Tim, thank you. Police are investigating a serious workplace incident in southeast Calgary today. It happened in a shop yard in the Foothills industrial area in the 7700 block of 44th Street just after 2:30 this afternoon. Police said the incident involved a forklift where dislodged pipes fell on a man in his 50s. The investigation into the circumstances continues. Hot and dry weather has created some ideal conditions for grass fires, including one burning west of our city. Alicia Fieldberg joins us from near Ghost Lake tonight, where one fire has already sparked. Alicia.
Tara, you can still see some of the smoke rising from that scorched grass back there. There are crews right here on the ground. There are also still 2 helicopters, water bombers in the air, and they have all been called here around 1 this afternoon when this fire was reported. Multiple crews arriving to help put out the flames. Now, one viewer shared some video that shows planes and helicopters attacking the fire from the sky to prevent it from spreading. Rocky View County has issued an advisory warning of a moderate fire risk and asking people to stay vigilant. We spoke to one person who was coming home from school when he saw the smoke.
We just saw this giant column of smoke over the ridge, and we decided to come check it out. We came down the road and we saw about 6 columns of smoke, and we thought it was something big, so we just stayed along.
According to Alberta Wildfire, the fire rating is between high and very high right now. A lot of crispy grass out here. There are 5 wildfires considered active in the province right now. Tara?
Okay, Alicia, thank you. Calgary police need help identifying 2 suspects following an arson in the northeast. It happened on April 19th in the 6000 block of Saddlehorn Drive. Police say 2 people walked up to a car parked in a driveway, set it on fire, and then ran toward a nearby school. Police have laid charges after forged documents were used to make purchases worth thousands of dollars. Here are some of the items police discovered during their 4-month investigation. Officers say the thieves stole driver's licenses, birth certificates, and social insurance numbers. Fake documents were then used to purchase snowmobiles, off-road vehicles, and a rental property in Calgary. 3 Calgarians in their 20s have been charged. Police need help finding a missing Calgary senior. 90-year-old Christina was last seen in Riverbend late yesterday afternoon. Police say she has a medical condition and her family is concerned for her well-being. Christina is 5'7" with a slim build, short gray hair, and wears glasses. You can call police or Crime Stoppers if you spot her. The historic Hudson's Bay building in downtown Calgary is set to get a makeover. The iconic building on Stephen Avenue will be turned into condos. As Moses Waldo reports, the move is being met with positive reactions, but also some concern.
One of Calgary's iconic buildings will receive some new life. A report says the Hudson's Bay building on Stephen Avenue will be converted to condos. Astra Real Estate Corporation has a track record in Calgary converting Calgary downtown office buildings to residential units.
Less vacancy is more people, more vibrant, and so hopefully the new building is going to be filled with a lot of people.
I was actually thinking this would be cool if it was a condo building. So yeah, I think it'd be cool.
It creates some livable space right in the core and might be a nice change to what we have down here.
It's welcome news to Heritage Calgary, who hopes the characteristics of the building will remain and that it will be a mixed-use space. They provided a statement to CTV saying in part, to legally protect the building, the owner would have to nominate the property for municipal or provincial heritage designation, and that tax abatements, grants, and adaptive reuse support creates a practical framework that both safeguards the building's heritage value and supports its ongoing economic viability.
It is a wow building. It's stunning. There's nothing else like it.
One condo expert says the market for a property like this will attract people, but with one caveat.
If you can do something that offers a unique aspect and it's priced affordably, that's kind of the winning combination.
One housing advocate in our city wants some of the units in the core to become more affordable.
At least 50% of that building must be affordable houses for people who cannot afford high rents in Calgary.
An attractive site that could breathe new life into the area.
When you get into the inside of a commercial space, you will have these super tall soaring ceiling heights, and that will add another unique sale point.
And Moses is outside that Bay building tonight. Moses, what other groups have you heard from on this?
Well, the Calgary Downtown Association is encouraged by the move, calling it a great opportunity for the future to revitalize downtown. Now, we reached out to Astra Real Estate. They were not available for comment, but they did provide a email, and it said that they will provide more details at a later date. Tara?
All right, Moses, thank you.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A new person has been chosen to take on the University of Calgary's most senior role. John Osler has been appointed the university's 16th Chancellor-elect. Osler spent more than 30 years as a corporate lawyer, but has also served in multiple volunteer roles, including as the former campaign chair of the Own Cancer campaign. Osler says this role is another opportunity to give back to the community and to the university.
I grew up in University Heights. I know the university well. Growing up, most of our neighbors were on the faculty at the university. It was a very new university, and to see where it has, to see the stories now, how it has come of age, the role that it is on, it's really one of the great academic institutions in the world.
As Chancellor, Osler will provide over convocation and major ceremonial events and will champion the university's mission and long-term goals. Osler replaces John Cornish in the role. His first day is July 1st. Well, it was another gorgeous day. Gina joins us now. We saw that brush fire earlier. Luckily, it wasn't really windy today.
Yes, winds have been relatively calm, but they have been variable when it comes to direction, and that can be tricky when it comes to tackling any type of grass fire or wildfire situation. So winds right now pretty calm at 5 kilometers an hour. Temperature, we've cracked 20 degrees today, and we're not done with temperature values like that heading into tomorrow. Very clear setup right now on your radar satellite. Looking at the next 24 hours, will remain clear throughout the evening, up to 9 degrees for the morning there, and then 23 degrees, Tara, by Friday afternoon.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gina. A Calgary councillor wants to reverse a ban on plastic water bottles being used in the chamber. He's tabling a handful of motions he calls performative, but some complain he's wasting time on meaningless debates. And later, we're hitting the hardwood. The Calgary Surge had a taste of championship basketball. This time round, they want the title. Construction has begun on an affordable housing project at the former site of the Midfield Heights Mobile Park. The 24-acre, $61 million development is in partnership with Calgary Housing and Rohit Homes. The province and city are also funding half the project. The affordable housing portion will consist of 176 units from studio to 3-bedroom homes. The other parts of the development include retail, office space, and more residential units.
Today is about more than breaking ground. It is about keeping a promise that Calgary has been making for decades. This is a city that must remain a place where people of all incomes can build stable lives.
In 2018, the city shut down the Midfield Mobile Home Park, evicting residents after a long and contentious battle over failing infrastructure. A Calgary City Councillor is taking aim at City Hall policies that he calls performative. Landon Johnston wants to get rid of a plastic water bottle ban in chambers and rescind the city's climate emergency. But political watchers say it's distracting from other important city issues. Jordan Canigan reports.
Among a handful of motions set to go to a committee next week is a battle over plastic water bottles.
It was a performative measure by a performative councillor at the time to reduce where the cameras point on what plastic bottles look like in front of cameras.
A 2019 policy discontinued single-use water bottles in council chambers in an effort to reduce waste and promote the city's tap water. The so-called performative councillor who introduced it 7 years ago was Jeremy Farkas.
We have the best product in the entire city. The water that we produce is clean. It tastes amazing.
Councillor Johnston also wants the city to get rid of a statement acknowledging the city's commitment to anti-racism and diversity, equity, and inclusion. He also wants to rescind the climate emergency declaration.
Again, it was performative, and actually by the administration's own terminology, it's a symbolic declaration. It didn't provide us any extra funding. It didn't put us on the world stage.
But these types of discussions can slow down city meetings and take time away from other issues.
I think it's a bit ironic because these kinds of motions call attention to things that are not particularly important.
Farkas was once the councillor bringing forth similar motions, some that received no support at all. Now he's the one in the mayor's chair.
I would think it would be a good lesson, one learned apparently by Jeremy Farkas that could be learned by others as well, that what voters want is for their elected representatives to focus on the problems, the real issues.
The mayor calling on council to stay focused on the big issues.
We should not be spending our time on bringing in fancy water bottle service for city councillors.
Jordan Canigan, CTV News, Calgary.
The motions are set to be discussed at Tuesday's executive committee. If passed, they would still need to go to a future council meeting for a full debate. A verdict is expected in a few weeks on whether the man who unlawfully sold a gun used to shoot and kill 2 Edmonton police officers is responsible for their deaths. Amanda Anderson has more on what happened during final arguments today.
Closing arguments were heard in a 4th-floor courtroom today in a manslaughter trial related to the deaths of 2 Edmonton police officers. In March 2023, Constable Travis Jordan and Constable Brett Ryan were ambushed by a 16-year-old with a semi-automatic rifle. The teen shot his mother before killing himself. He also used the same gun to shoot a Pizza Hut employee days earlier. The Crown prosecutor says it wasn't the gun control regime that failed the victims. It was the actions and omissions of the accused, Dennis Okimau. He argued Okimau knew or was willfully blind to the teen's mental health issues when he sold him the gun. Okimau was prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition at the time, and the court heard 16-year-olds can't legally buy guns in Canada. The Crown also argued there's evidence Okimau knew or suspected the teen was involved in the Pizza Hut shooting before the shooting at the apartment and did nothing to warn police. During the defense's closing arguments, he suggested society is looking for someone to blame after such a tragic incident, and his client, Okimau, is a scapegoat. He disputed the Crown's claim Okimau knew about the teen's mental illness, saying there's no evidence. The defense told the court his client is taking responsibility for unlawfully selling the gun through a guilty verdict, but says a conviction on the manslaughter and criminal negligence charges will open a floodgate for criminal liability in other cases down the road. A verdict is expected in late May or early June. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Gina back in now. We're finally getting the nice weather we've been waiting for.
It only took till the end of April for spring to finally arrive in the way that we like it, which is the blue sky, the sun, and those nice above seasonal temperatures. And we had an abundance of all three of those today. I mean, looking at our winds right now, so calm out there. In the city, really the winds were between 10 to 15 kilometers an hour throughout a bulk of the afternoon, but switching up direction a lot. So just thinking back to the reporting Alicia was doing about that wildfire situation to the west of the city there, that can be challenging from a firefighting perspective because the winds change up. That can change the direction of where the grass is burning, but looks like they're doing good work there. And thankfully, those winds aren't very strong in southern Alberta right now. Tomorrow, looking pretty good too, and temperature-wise, just fabulous out there. 21 degrees if you're joining us in the Lethbridge or Brooks areas. We're sitting at 20 this hour. Same over in Medicine Hat. Central part of the province is looking great too. 22 degrees in the Capital District right now in Edmonton, 21 in Red Deer. And if you're closer to the foothills, I mean, pretty nice temperature values as well. A little breezier in those areas though, probably around 20 to 40 kilometers an hour. This is what we're looking at for tomorrow with 25 degrees in store for the southeast portion of the province here. So that includes Lethbridge, Medicine Hat. We're not far behind with 23 degrees in store for us. It'll be a sunny start to the day, very similar to what we're looking at the radar satellite right now. But by the time Friday afternoon comes around, we'll start to see a bit more of that cloud work its way back into the city. This is our upper air pattern currently, so we're really protected right now. The jet stream is so far to the north that we're just really enjoying and benefiting from stable high pressure with this big ridge. And that remains the story heading into Friday too. But like I mentioned, some encroaching cloud later on Friday afternoon with the slight chance of maybe some early evening precipitation and then a second round of some scattered showers early Saturday morning as this jet stream readjusts briefly, just allowing a little bit of that curve that can create that instability. Sunday's looking great, but you see by Monday, we're basically caught in the middle between two air masses. We've got this dry, cold air mass to the east of us, a warm, moist air mass to the west, and we're just right in the middle. So what can happen there is you get more clouds developing. It can drive down temperatures a little bit and could give us, again, some more scattered showers by around Monday. But 3-day forecast here showing really nice temperature values, very nice conditions. I mean, basically the story I'm trying to tell you here is we're kicking off May on a really nice note. So enjoy the weekend, enjoy the conditions, but be sun smart and fire smart out there. That's your Action Purtis 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Gina. The provincial government has launched a new plan to promote Alberta's music industry.
Son, I hear you play guitar. You want to be a big star.
Alberta's current artist in residence, John Ward-Hannam, was among the performers at the announcement at the National Music Centre. The plan includes the creation of the Alberta Music Commission. The government says it will build on the success of Alberta's Film Commission. The new group's purpose is to champion the voices of the music industry, strengthen cross-sector coordination, and promote Alberta's strengths on the world stage.
With an industry primed for significant growth, our government is committed to taking Alberta music to the top of the charts.
This is a crucial step that we're taking as a province, and it's groundbreaking for artist retention, economic growth, culture and identity, as well as community.
The province says it invests an average of $15 million a year in the music sector, and the industry employs more than 23,000 people province-wide. The Big Four Roadhouse has announced its concert lineup for the Calgary Stampede. From rock to country, featuring Canadian and international artists, the Big Four will host Colin James, Everlast, Glass Tiger, Johnny Reid, Tanya Tucker, Terry Clark, and many others. Barbecued food, bars, and a big mechanical bull will also be at the venue. All concerts at the Big Four Roadhouse stage are free with admission to Stampede Park from July 2nd to 12th. All ages are welcome during the day. It is adults only after 6 p.m. A new pipeline to move Canadian oil to the U.S. Donald Trump revives portions of the canceled Keystone XL oil pipeline. And some really simple tips to help you get better gas mileage as the price of fuel soars.
Slightly different than the last administration. Very different. They wouldn't sign a pipeline deal, and we have pipelines going up.
Donald Trump has authorized a new pipeline that would move Canadian oil to the United States. The proposed line is expected to transport Canadian crude from the border to Wyoming and could cost about $2 billion U.S. The pipeline was proposed by Bridger and Calgary-based South Bow and would revive portions of the canceled Keystone XL oil pipeline. The project could increase Canada's crude exports to the U.S. by more than 12% if it goes ahead. Premier Daniel Smith says the pipeline announcement means Alberta will be able to produce more of the oil that the world needs. She's in the UK right now promoting Alberta energy. Today, she spoke to an audience at Chatham House, a think tank in London. She spoke about energy security amid the war in Iran.
Concerns about security of supply aren't new, but recent global disruptions have reinforced a single point, that where energy comes from matters more than ever. And Alberta is the most promising and practical solution.
Smith's 10-day trip also includes stops in Germany and Sweden. She's meeting with business leaders, government officials, and investors. With just 6 weeks to go before this summer's FIFA World Cup, soccer officials from around the world are now gathering in Vancouver to attend the 76th FIFA Congress. But Iranian officials will not be attending after they were denied entry to Canada. Iranian state television is reporting that the head of Iran's soccer federation and 2 other senior officials were denied entry. Mehdi Taj was reportedly removed from Canada late Tuesday over his alleged ties to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, a listed terrorist entity in Canada. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says that it's her understanding that the Iranian officials' permission to enter Canada was revoked unintentionally. Well, you have no doubt noticed that prices at the pump are soaring thanks to the war in Iran. So how can drivers get by? Is there a way to ease the pain during this difficult time? CTV's John Venivalle-Rao looks into that for us tonight.
Let's go check your tire pressure.
Teresa DeFelice with the CAA showed us one of the easiest things drivers looking to save on gas should do right now. Check the tire pressures on their vehicle and make sure they're at the recommended level, which is listed on a sticker you can find inside the driver's side door jamb.
Underinflated tires can reduce your fuel efficiency by 4%.
If a tire is underinflated, it has a higher rolling resistance, and the tire has to work harder to get down the road. A survey last year found only about a quarter of Canadian motorists check their tire pressure monthly. Another thing you can do, look in the trunk to see if there's anything you don't need and remove it. An extra 45 kilograms or 100 pounds in a vehicle can increase fuel consumption up to 1%.
If you were carrying around a bag of salt or sand to weigh down your car in the snow, it's time to take it out and help your fuel efficiency.
If you've got roof racks or bikes hanging off the rear, remove them when not in use because they can, of course, impact the vehicle's aerodynamics.
It causes a drag on your car, and your car has to work harder, which means it's using more fuel.
And experts say try to drive evenly and avoid hard acceleration and sudden braking whenever possible, with aggressive driving shown to lower gas mileage 15 to 30% at highway speeds. Consider using cruise control on the highway to make things steady.
It's nice to have slow acceleration, gradual speed increase.
According to Consumer Reports, another tip, skip the premium gas unless a higher octane is required for your vehicle. And checking gas prices online using apps and websites can help find cheaper prices in your area. That's because experts say prices can vary as much as 10 cents between stations, so it can pay to check. John Venivalle-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Good tips. If you're an early riser, this would be an amazing way to start the day. A sunrise ski down a beautiful slope. You will have to get on an airplane to do it here, though. Our trending videos are next. The YouthLink Calgary Police Interpretive Centre is launching a new name, the Calgary Police Discovery Centre. For 30 years, it's been helping young people make safe choices and build stronger futures through innovative crime prevention education. Since opening, more than 500,000 people have experienced the program.
Like many cities across Canada, Calgary is facing increased complexity in crime and social challenges. We're seeing this in our neighbourhoods, in our schools, and too often in the lives of our youth.
The Calgary Police Discovery Centre will host a grand reopening on May 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The public is welcome. There will be interactive exhibits, family activities, and police demonstrations. Okay, you guys. Twins definitely seem to share a special connection. We know this. Is it twin telepathy? We're going to let you decide.
Hold up a number 1 through 5. Raise your right or left hand. Point up or down. Look to the right or left. Do a dance.
This is Dwayne and Wayne. They're 78-year-old twins. They didn't have any idea what one of the granddaughters was going to tell them to do. They didn't cheat. They both picked the same number. They used the same gestures. They did the same dance moves.
That's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
At first, I was like, you know, you have a 50-50 chance of doing the same thing. But when they both did the same type of twirl, I was convinced.
Yeah.
Same time.
Yeah. There's definitely a connection going on there. Well, this is a little bit Jetson-y. A new mode of travel in New York City is one step closer to becoming a reality. So these are electric taxis, air taxis, being tested by Joby Aviation. So the goal of the taxis is to fly people from JFK Airport into Manhattan in about 10 minutes.
Whoa.
How great would that be?
Look at that.
The flights are very quiet. They're emission-free. There are no passengers yet. They're still testing them out. The pilots are. Commercial service could launch as early as next year.
So George Jetson's not the pilot?
Maybe he is. I don't know. But
that would be kind of even cooler,
if you could
wouldn't
get from JFK to Manhattan in 10 minutes, that would be worth whatever it is they're thinking of charging people.
Yeah.
Amazing. Some of our nearby mountain ski resorts are still open for a few days, a few weeks yet, but they don't open early enough in the day that you could enjoy this. So skiers in Bosnia and Herzegovina are hitting the slopes for some sunrise skiing. They get there at about 6 a.m. This is an annual event. Dozens of people come out for this early morning race down more than a 2,000-meter mountain. This year's ski season in the country has been extended a bit thanks to a late season snowfall, so it's making for a very successful sunrise skiing event.
So they know what we're going through with the snow, right?
They sure do. They don't seem to mind. They're putting it to good use. That would be so
awesome.
beautiful,
Fun,
actually,
to
be out there at sunrise.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. I was just thinking, take that helicopter from the last story up to the top.
There
you go.
Combine that, take your skis, get to the top, ski down.
Yeah.
Beautiful. More warm weather destinations are coming for Alberta airports. Porter Airlines is adding sunspots. Those details are just ahead.
Well, it is a packed-looking driving range there. Why wouldn't it be with the conditions we're seeing right now? The shot there through our Skywatch weather camera. Another shot here of that blue sky. I mean, we're living up to the name Blue Sky City today with this absolutely gorgeous setup for Thursday here. We're at 20 degrees currently. That is our high so far. May get a little bit warmer out there. We've got the sun up until almost 9 o'clock tonight, so a lot of time ahead of you still to be outside enjoying the conditions out there. As we look at the next 24 hours through, brought to you by Action Furnace, fix right or it's free, we will remain clear for the rest of the evening here, cooling off to about 4 degrees in the early morning hours, but picking right back up to 9 degrees as soon as that sunrise happens. By the time we get into the afternoon, that's when we'll see more of those clouds move in, and with the slight chance of maybe some precipitation heading our way. It won't be later until the evening, though, as we look at our futurecast here. Like I mentioned, pretty clear overnight. Right at around 8 o'clock tomorrow night is when we see more of those clouds move into our direction. We see some pockets of precipitation, same at around close to midnight there, but nothing very long sustained, and then we clear right back up by the time Saturday morning comes around. Take a look at the 10-day trend here. I mean, we don't have a lot to complain about. We remain above seasonal for the next 10 days here, even possibly getting up to 26 degrees by midweek next week. But the next 5 days here are looking really good too. Again, some showers here and there, but a lot of sunshine and a lot of warmth to start the new month.
Some first responders at a tragic scene in northwest Calgary walked away in tears today. 2 young children were found dead in a vehicle along 14th Street Northwest. The deaths are being treated as suspicious. A man is in custody, but no charges have yet been laid. Elections Alberta is investigating what it calls a serious leak of the province's list of electors to a group pushing separatism. The RCMP has opened an investigation too. The list contains personal information about almost every voting age Albertan. And a brush fire is burning northwest of Calgary near Ghost Lake tonight. Multiple fire departments are responding to help get the flames under control. So far, it covers at least 10 acres. Calgary's airport is weighing in on the discussion about privatizing airports in Canada. The federal government hinted at the idea during the spring economic update, saying privatization could be one step to unlocking the full potential of Canada's airports. Transport Minister Stephen McKinnon says they would look at each airport separately. Speaking at its annual general meeting, the Calgary Airport Authority says it is open to discussing privatization if it ensures safety, security, and affordability for passengers.
We serve our community, and if there's a structure that is good for our community, of course it's got our support. And I think it's our responsibility to come to the table and have the conversation.
Meantime, Dinsdale says the rest of the centralized passenger security screening should be open by the end of this year. Porter Airlines is adding several new international destinations from Alberta. From Calgary, Porter will fly to Phoenix. That service begins December 20th, and it will be daily. And from Edmonton, Porter will fly to Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. The carrier says it will operate nearly 5,000 flights to sun destinations from Canada for the upcoming winter season. Real gross domestic product was up 0.2% in February. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez brings us the details.
Manufacturing was strong in February. It expanded by 1.8%. That's the largest monthly expansion for manufacturing since January 2023. In that sector, both machinery and transportation equipment did well. There was also more crude production in Saskatchewan and Newfoundland and Labrador. Real GDP for March is expected to be flat. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar's up to 73.62. West Texas Intermediate is up to 105.07. Western Canadian Select up another $4 to 82.76. And the TSX bounced back today, spiking 645 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Today is the deadline for most Canadians to file their taxes. Filing on time means avoiding penalties and delays if you're receiving benefits. The CRA charges a late filing penalty of 5% of your balance owing, plus an additional 1% for each full month your return is late. The filing deadline for those who are self-employed is June 15th. Calgary's pro basketball team is preparing for a new season, and there's extra motivation to win a title this year. Glenn has that story for us coming up. Lethbridge athletes will soon have a new place to train when the weather turns cold. The U of L has announced plans to build a multi-sport dome on campus. The $13.5 million, 127,000 square foot facility will be able to host soccer, rugby, football, lacrosse, baseball, and more. It will also feature 2 sport courts and a multi-lane track. Construction is expected to begin early next year with completion by August 2027. The WHL's Eastern Conference Final has been a real dandy so far. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, the series is all square at 2 games apiece.
Tara, not much separates the Medicine Hat Tigers and the Prince Albert Raiders. Game 4 went last night in Medicine Hat, with the Tigers leading that series 2-1. We're going to pick it up in the second period. Raiders up 2-1 when Daxon Rudolph rifles it past Jordan Switzer. Second of the game, Prince Albert with a 3-1 lead. Still in the second, Raiders up 4-1. They kept pouring it on. Rudolph, nice feed here to Maddox Gaterty. He beats Casey Carter, who would replace Switzer. It was all Prince Albert as they led 5-1 at that point. Tigers get some life 25 seconds after that. Good hustle here by Ethan Newtons. He races to the puck and fires it past Mikhailo Orsulak. That makes it a 5-2 game. The Raiders put this one out of reach in the third period. Max Heisey, the Calgary boy, will find the twine past Casey. His third of the playoffs makes it a 6-2 game. Raiders cruise to a 6-3 victory over the Tigers to even the series at 2 games apiece. Game 5 goes tomorrow night in Prince Albert. Then the series shifts to Medicine Hat for Game 6 on Sunday. The winner will move on to face the Everett Silvertips in the league final. They swept Penticton in the West final. Calgary Surge open up training camp on Sunday at the MNP Centre. Most of the players just trickling into town now. Evan Gilliard is just back from winning the NBA G League championship. Gilliard and the Greensboro Swarm defeated the Stockton Kings to win the final. He says he's still basking in the glory.
Feels great. Feels amazing to be able to get the job done. Took a little while being a professional, but we finally got it done.
The 5'10" guard returns to Calgary for a second season. And now that he's got a taste of championship basketball, he wants to bring that title to the Surge.
I want it bad. We got the championship last year. I feel like we worked hard. We got to the point we wanted to be. We just didn't finish the job. So it'll be amazing to get back there and be able to finish the job this year. Just learning and growing from my last experience, and just having a better mindset going into it. Just being more of a team and staying together collectively, even when things start to, go down the drain a little bit.
The Surge will have several new faces this season, and some of those players were on the court Thursday at the MNP Centre to get a workout in before camp starts on Sunday. Callum Swanton-Roger comes to the Surge from Old Dominion University. The Calgarian played high school basketball at the Edge School.
I'm unbelievably excited. It's been a very long time since I've been home for more than 3 days, so getting the opportunity to be home and play in my city is unbelievably exciting.
Joshua Francis is also an Edge School graduate. The Calgarian watched the Surge growing up, and now he gets to wear their jersey.
It's crazy you say that, because I remember being with my mom, watching the Surge on TV. I think they played Scarborough one time, and I was just like, man, that's incredible. Maybe one day, and 2 years later, here I am. So just really grateful for the opportunity, grateful to be here.
Some pretty big news with Stamps camp just around the corner. Quarterback PJ Walker has decided to step away from football, so the Stamps in search of a new backup to Vernon Adams. The Stamps also announced today that linebacker Nicky Farinaccio and defensive backs Brady Breeze and Lance Robinson have also retired. Rookie camp, by the way, gets underway on Wednesday. Football's here.
It's here. Dave Dickinson's going to have to put himself back in.
He might. He could probably play. I have no doubts.
You're coming out of retirement, Dave. Get out there.
Head coach, GM, and quarterback.
That's right. You got to do it all.
Yeah.
Well, very nice night to maybe go down to the park and throw a football around, Gina.
Yeah, for sure. Just really being outdoors is a prime opportunity tonight with gorgeous clear conditions. I mean, Dawn, come on, getting this shot for our weather window here. Brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Really a day in Alberta where there was not a bad place to be, with just this fabulous setup of high pressure, bringing in all that sunshine, the blue sky, and some pretty nice temperatures to boot. When we look at the weekend here, I mean, we're just going to ramp up that temperature a little bit more for Friday there. It'll be a nice sunny start to the day, a little bit of late day cloud, but still 23 degrees, not a lot to complain about on that front. Saturday, we get closer to seasonal, but still remain slightly above it. And Sunday, back to 23 degrees again. So, I mean, you're welcome, everybody, I guess. Lovely 5-day there.
For breaking news anytime, go to our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca. Thanks for your company tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.